All right, you guys, thank you so much for getting on tonight. I am excited to be here and taking notes for our team call. We have Colleen, who is going to be our guest speaker. She has been a coach, I think, for since May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love having newer coaches speak on these calls because a lot of times we have coaches who have been doing it for a year or two, and it's great to have somebody who's newer, who's rocking it, and who can share just a different perspective. So I'm excited to have her on. I think it's going to be incredible, and I just wanted some of you guys to I know that I got caught up in okay, well, I'm listening to these speakers who have been doing it for 2 years, so they know exactly what they're saying. And so it's so nice to have a coach who's been doing this for only 2 or 3, 4 months on our team that's going to share what she's been doing. She's rocking it. She led our entire team last month in Success Club, which is huge. And I reached out to her and I was immediately like, you've got to be on our team call. So I'm going to let her take it away, and then we'll do a little quick Q&A at the end, if that's cool. Does that work?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rock on.
Okay, cool. I hope everybody can hear me okay. And I have a cold. I'm going to do my best to get through this without sneezing on the camera or my dog's jumping in on the video. Anywho, okay, so I just want to first off thank Carly for inviting me to talk to you guys. I was a little bit a little shocked and really honored to be asked. So I'm just really excited to talk to y'all, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm just feeling really, really pumped right now, and excited about everything going on, excited for Summit coming up, and just feel really, really lucky that I found y'all. I have not been with you guys that long. I've only been a customer with Beachbody since February, and then I joined as a discount coach in April. I kind of put my toe in the water in May. I think I had one challenge pack. And then in June, it kind of all sort of took off, and now I'm just having so much fun and really enjoying it. I'm just running my first challenge group this July, so it's been really cool. I'm just going to tell you a quick little bit about me. So I started with a 21-day fix in February. I was super unhappy. I work as an ER overnight veterinarian, so I have a really, really stressful job. So my job sort of lends itself to stress eating and feeling tired all the time and feeling like crud. And in February, I was definitely feeling that way. I just was at my highest weight and super unhappy. And I had a good friend at work whose sister was a Beachbody coach. That's Jen Noggle. And so I had tried a whole bunch of crap. I tried Weight Watchers, I tried Plexus, I tried the wraps. And I just decided to kind of go for it with Beachbody. And I haven't looked back since. I've been super happy. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Jen and Christina Beasley, both of them. Oh my God. I have probably asked them about 5 million questions. I literally would call Jen from the grocery store and be like, hey, I'm in the veggie aisle. What kind of lettuce am I looking for? Really ridiculous. So she never made me feel like I was bothering her, and super welcoming and nice. Something like that. Do you hear that? What is that? Anyway, so I just wanted to thank both of them. And when Carly asked me to talk to you guys, I wasn't really sure, honestly, I was like, what on earth am I going to tell them that they don't already know? I memean, most of you guys have been coaching longer than me. And I got kind of nervous about it, which clearly shows I need to do some PD, which I have been. But she said, well, why don't you just talk to them about what's been working for you really well? And I guess that would definitely be, Success Club was an area that I excelled in June. So that's what I was going to talk to y'all about tonight, is just kind of how to rock out Success Club and get people. So the first thing I want you guys to do, if you can, is sort of imagine or think back on where you were when you joined Beachbody, however long ago that was. For me, it wasn't that long ago, so it's not that far from my mind. But what place were you at when you joined? So the fact of the matter is, I think most people that are looking for a new wellness program, they're not at their best. They're not at 100%, right? So there are people that are sort of looking for a change. Maybe they are at their highest weight. Maybe they're tired all the time. Maybe they are just feeling like there's got to be more to life, like how I felt. I was like, this is possibly the best I can feel. And so those people, I want you to keep that person in mind, like who you were when you were looking for a program, and then I want you to ask yourself if the coach that you are now is a coach that the person you used to be when you joined. Are you somebody that you would have found relatable, approachable? Are you somebody that you would have felt comfortable trusting? Because that's what these people are doing, is trusting us with, their goals and their health and their wellness. And that's a huge thing, basically paying price, and that's amazing. I mean, it's so cool. So I just want you to think about that. I know that the inherent instinct is to say, well, of course I'm somebody I would have approached, but really think about it, and then think about kind of what kind of you're putting out there. So I am admittedly really bad at Instagram, so I use Facebook for most of my, social media. So I want you to think about your page, think about your Facebook page, whether it's a professional page or your personal page that people are seeing, and ask yourself what kind of message you're putting out to somebody who is in that place, to somebody who really isn't feeling awesome about where they are. If you are somebody who has nothing but perfect pictures of your perfect hair, your perfect outfit, and your perfect dog, chances are somebody who is feeling like a fat slob, tired all the time, is going to look at your page and be like, oh my God, I have nothing in common with this person. I don't know how I would ever feel comfortable talking to them. And that's not to say you shouldn't be super duper happy and proud of yourself for the progress that you've made, because God knows, you've worked really hard to get where you are, and you deserve to have those awesome, cute pictures. But I would encourage you to just think about if you have other sides of you that you're showing on those pictures. I know for me, I don't know if it's just that I'm inherently kind of a goober and really clumsy, but I do stupid things all the time. And so I don't have a hard time sharing that side of me. Like, I was at Target last week, and I'm totally blaming Master's Hammer and Chisel for this, by the way, but I was in a hurry, and I went to grab a shaving can off the ledge, and I must have pulled too hard, and I literally pulled the entire shelf of shaving cream down, like 500 cans, littered all around me, like tons of noise. I'm standing there in the aisle surrounded by shaving cans, and I'm like, oh my God. And of course I'm trying to tiptoe away, but the entire store staff comes to see what the hell the noise is about. So that's just an example of something that happens to me that I share with people. I share when I am feeling great. I share when I'm not feeling great. I share when maybe I don't feel like pressing play, or I'm sick, or I'm a little unsure about myself and vulnerable. But then I also share when I'm not a strong, beautiful program. You have to be able to relate to the person that's going to be your coach. And that's so important that coach is multidimensional. The other thing that I always tell people to do is and I've heard other coaches say this too, is you want to have other things other than Beachbody on your page. So pick some things that, you can connect with people over. For me, I'm a vet, so I have a ton of pictures of my animals. I have on horses, so I have horse pictures. I like Game of Thrones, so I have tons of Game of Thrones stuff on my page. Just something that people can see about you that makes you, again, more multidimensional to them, and is maybe something that they can connect with you over. Obviously, I do my fair share of the kind of call to action posts and the informative posts and things like that for Beachbody, but I think that the kind of posts that I have noticed the most feedback from has been transformation pics, and I think a lot of us would agree that seems to draw the most attention. In June, I remember, I think some of my success that month was a little bit because it was when I was really starting to see results, and I was on vacation with my husband in Mexico, and I posted this picture of me in a bathing suit that I would have never worn a year ago. And I had it next to a picture of how I looked in February. And I remember I was sitting by the pool with him, and my phone was just blowing up after I posted it. My husband was like, what is going on? And I looked down, and I had 80 likes in 10 minutes. It was incredible. And I'm not kidding you. I think I had 15 people contact me within an hour about what I was doing. So that's, the power of transformation pics. But the thing is that I didn't just slap up a picture. I also had made myself relatable to them by being, kind of real on my page. And I had also shared my story. So you have to be able to kind of put yourself out there. And I know it's really scary, but somebody that they're going to look to, they really want to see that you've been where they are now. And so being able to show, like, I, was at my highest weight and I felt terrible. And then I found this thing called Beachbody that completely changed me for the better, and look at where I am now. So kind of being more relatable that way, I think is huge. If you're a coach that's nervous about posting pictures of yourself and owning not only where you are now, but where you were, that's going to make it difficult, I think, for people to want to trust you with their health and fitness. You should all be really, really proud of what you've done and what you've accomplished and where you are, and that you've come from where you were. So I would just really encourage you to share every aspect of who you are on your social media. So like I said, when I put that thing in June, I had a bunch of people that contact, obviously, like the ideal thing, because kind of takes the guesswork out of it when somebody contacts you. So when somebody says, what have you been doing? Why do you look so damn hot? What have you been doing to look so good? What do you guys do when somebody does that? If your answer is, well, I send them the promotional details of the 21-day fix and my link, then you need to slap yourself or something, because that is not exactly the way to go about that. When somebody contacts me and says, you look great, what are you doing? The first thing I do is thank them, because that's really nice and I love that. And the second thing I do is I tell them my story. I tell them what I, was feeling and what I did. And, now I'm doing this program and drinking Shakeology and really loving it. And it's great because it kind of becomes a natural segue to start talking about their health and wellness. And you want to find out their goals. You want to find out who they are. You want to find out what their life is like. If they have any challenges in their, in their specific circumstance, it's going to change what you might recommend. So you want to learn about these people. I know it's so tempting to want to have a little script that you just kind of send people, but And I'm not going to lie, I have a little blurb saved in my phone of some details on different programs, but you never just want to copy and paste things. You always want to make them particular to that person, because that person wants to feel like they're more than a number to you and that their story matters to you. So that's what kind of how I go about it when somebody contacts me. So now I just want to talk for just a second about invites. And I know a collective groan just went out across the feed, because I know you guys don't like inviting. I know it's really scary. I agree that it can be scary, but I will tell you one thing that has really helped me have kahunas with inviting is being really passionate about what I'm offering. And that has taken some PD on my part to get to. But the thing is that we are offering people to change their lives for the better. We are giving them an opportunity to become better versions of themselves, healthier, happier, all of that. That is amazing. It's offer them. I just get so excited about it because I see where they are now and I see where they can be. And that is super cool. So when I am inviting people,
Colleen, do you have any background noise? Or
no.
Did anyone else
Quiet.
I'm hearing? Okay. Everyone's muted, but I can hear something or someone going in and out, but I can't figure out what it is. Is your cell phone next to your computer?
Yeah, I can move it.
Ashley, are you muted?
I can't see who. Ashley?
I think, yeah, Ashley just muted herself.
Okay, here we go. Mute. Okay, I found a cell phone. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Keep going. This is great.
Okay, so I was saying that I know we're all scared of inviting. So what I do to make it less scary, and I think, it's kind of for me, the right way to go about it is I don't just cold out of the blue message somebody I haven't talked to in a while and just be like, hi, I'm a coach for Beachbody. Would you like to do X, Y, and Z? Because that person's going to read that and be like, okay, you're just selling me something. And even though what we're offering them is amazing, that's not going to make them want to jump on board with us. So what I do is I look and see who's liked my posts. That's huge. So look and see who's paying attention to your post, who's liked your post, who's commented on your post, and then look and see who is paying attention to the post that you are putting up when you recognize people. Those people are interested. They might not be saying anything to you yet, but they're interested. So striking up a conversation with them is a great place to start. And it doesn't even have to be Beachbody related. You just say, hey, one thing I'll say is, hey, thank you for liking my post recognizing Michelle. Isn't she doing amazing? And that like opens up a conversation where you can kind of naturally start to talk about it. And then I'll say something like, about myself, about how I've come a long way or whatever, and use it as a natural segue. And you kind of pick up really quickly if they're interested in that or not. So that's how I start my invites. I think that the biggest thing with inviting is just to be really, really passionate about what you're offering, to be real with them, to find out about them, and to make it about them and not just about the product. I mean, maybe the program that's on promo that month is great, but maybe it's not what they need. But maybe it's not the program that's perfect for them. So one thing I just want to talk about, obviously with Success Club, what you're wanting to do is sell challenge packs. I mean, those are your bread and butter. So one thing that you just want to remember with challenge packs, I know that, the most common objections I think people get with challenge packs is, if you guys have different ones, let me know. But the big one is the cost of Shakeology. That's the one that I think a lot of us hear a lot. And the thing with Shakeology that I tell people is that there's nothing like it out there, you guys. There's nothing that comes remotely close to Shakeology. I have spent hours geeking out and comparing products, and there's just nothing out there that has what Shakeology has in it. And it is by far the best way for people to get on the right track with their nutrition and get the results they want. And the thing is that in a challenge pack, they're getting the workout and the Shakeology, so they're really getting the best jump start to reach their goals. So when people object about the price, one thing I'll say to them is, okay, let's break it down. Because I understand that. I actually said that to my coach, Jen. I said, this is really expensive. It's a lot of money for some people to spend $130 a month on a shake. And what I say to them is, let's break it into a daily cost. And, if you break it into a daily cost, it's $4 or something. And for everything that you get with it, protein, veggies, antioxidants, digestive enzymes, vitamins, minerals, I could go on. I mean, it's unbelievable what you get for the cost. So that's one way I sort of try to put it in perspective for them is, but let's look at it on a daily cost level, because people eat out all the time. They go through the drive-thru all the time, and they're spending more than $4.30 on their food. The other thing that I talk to them about is what's the last thing that they spent that much money on? Because God knows we all spend money on stupid things. And the fact of the matter is the last thing they spent money on probably wasn't as good for them as Shakeology is going to be. And the last thing I always bring up is the money back guarantee, because it kind of takes the risk out of it for people if they know that they can literally use the whole bag. And if it's within 30 days, they can send it back. So that's just a way that I deal with a few of the most common objections with Shakeology. One thing that I do for people once I've kind of got them interested, so let's say that they're interested but they're not exactly sure that they want to dive in yet, I let them have a little sample of a challenge group. If they don't have another coach, it's not a big deal for me to let them hang out in the challenge group. And I have found that this is one way that people who are interested suddenly want to do it, because they see people in your challenge group that are making things happen for themselves and are reaching their goals, and they are inspired and they want that for themselves. So that's one thing I'll say, hey, do you want to hang out for a week and see what we're about and see what people are doing? And then next thing you know, I've got a message. They're going, okay, I want in on that. That's amazing. So that's just one way that I deal with that. Once I have somebody signed up, I think it's really, really important to remember that your challengers, the people that you're coaching, they're really your best form of advertisement. They are the people that are going to get you referrals. They're the people that are going to be singing your praises to other people and get other people to come to you. So you really, really want, obviously, to get them the results that they want. And obviously, we can't be sitting there with them, cooking for them and making sure they're pressing play. But I try to be really involved in all of their lives. I want to learn about them. I want to learn about their specific circumstances. Like I have one girl who's a flight nurse. She's gone like half the week on a plane, totally different than most other people's lifestyles. You want to learn about how they look at their diets. I have a girl that literally, if she doesn't fit everything into a container, she thinks she's failed. And so we're dealing with how she can learn to be more flexible with herself and understand that it's not failure or success. Like there's all this in between, where she can be completely happy with what she's doing and be okay. So I haven't gotten to a point where I need like an online program to keep track of my people yet, but I have an alphabetized binder where I write down everybody's names and I make notes. And every few days I go back and I make notes about that person, about what's going on with them. And I'm checking in with them. It depends on the person. Everybody's different with how much checking in they want. There's some people that sort of really fly solo and other people that seem to want a little more guidance every day. So I try to pick up on that and check in with them as much as they need, and then keep notes on what they're doing and reward them and recognize them. I think that little bits of recognition and shout outs, those are so huge to the people that are working through this, and really, really make them kind of get some more, desire to keep going, and kind of a renewed sense of excitement over it. So I guess what I would say in kind of to end it is that maybe I'm not so far off from when I signed up, and that's why I can really remember what it felt like when I signed up for Beachbody. I remember being that girl that really didn't have any confidence at all. And now I look at myself and I look how much I've grown, and I'm just blown away. So, just remember that as much as we get, we want to make Success Club and we want to be successful in our business, the more you start worrying about the numbers, the more likely you are to be caught up in the wrong priorities. That this is really not about, the business so much as it is about the people. And the more you focus on the people, the more your business is going to grow. So it's sort of inversely related, So if you feel like you're starting to maybe put your emphasis on the wrong things, just go back to why you signed up. Go back to who the girl who you were when you signed up for Beachbody, and what you wanted out of Beachbody, and why you started coaching in the first place. And you guys are totally going to rock it out. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, that was incredible. That was amazing. And I took 3 ghetto pages of notes over here. But what you said, like, honest to God, I sat here and I was like, this is me when I first signed up. You are me. Like, people will say, what do you do to be successful? You put other people first. You be a goober. You drop a whole rack of shaving cream, at the store, and you share it. And you don't. The people who are scared to be vulnerable are the people who aren't going to make it. The people who are fearful of what other people think need to dive into personal development. So if you're worried about what other people think, like, you've got a new coach on the call sharing her perspective, things that I've talked about, but it's like, oh yeah, Carly said it before. Yeah, it doesn't blah, blah, blah. That's kind of how I feel sometimes, but it's like, it's so good to hear like all this greatness that you got to share with us, because it really, at the end of the day, it's putting people first. It's other lives matter. It's using your story where and you guys know I always get emotional. It's where you start from, no matter what it looks like. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's story, and you connecting to other people on that level. And that's what this whole journey is about. It's like, I remember day 1 in challenge group, I was like, I can't post, like, I can't share anything. Like, and think about those people in your groups. And I just loved everything that you shared, and thank you so much for getting on tonight. And I love that when you said failure versus success, there's so much in between. Like, that resonates with coaches, with challengers, with everyone across the board. Like, we want stuff that's going to happen overnight. We want easy fixes. We want to be successful as coaches overnight. It doesn't happen that way. We all go through trials and tribulations. It's the people, just like our challengers, that stick it out, that stick out a long, hard weekend, that have failures, that fall down, that get back up, but that stay the freaking course, are the ones that make it. And that's the same with us coaches. So failure versus success, so much in between. Nailed it. Loved it. All right, I'm going to stop because I could talk forever, and I'm going to open it up for anyone who has questions. If y'all have any questions, just unmute yourself and jump on and ask away.
Colleen, you mentioned that you let new customers or potential customers sample your challenge group. So you let them join in one day and like literally seven days later you'll remove them from the group and then have a conversation? Like, what do you do then? Have a conversation with them?
No, I don't remove them. I just stick them in there and I let them kind of see how things go for about a week. And then I just message them and I say, hey, how are you liking the group? What do you think? Like, have you seen what's going on? Is there anything that's striking a chord with you? What questions do you have? You know, I mean, it doesn't, maybe that's just me, but I don't really care if somebody hangs out in the group for a little while if they're not using another coach, because I think so many of those people get inspired by watching other people and then they want in on that. I mean, we all want that sense of community, and that's what the challenge groups give you, is that kind of friendship, that, you know, community that you can have a bunch of people supporting you. It's what I love about it. So no, I don't kick them out. I let them hang in there.
Okay.
Allison, one thing that I do is I preface it with, hey, I'm wrapping up my last 2 weeks of the group. Once we're done, we'll talk about what's right for you, like what program's right for you, what your goals are. So they know when I come back to them that we're going to be talking about something. So it's not like, hey, what challenge pack do you want to buy? It's like, hey, join the group, check this out, see if it's right for you, and then we'll talk about what's right for you.
Great. Thank you.
Who else? Tasha, I know you probably have a question.
I'm good tonight.
Oh, very good.
But it was a really good presentation. Good job, Colleen.
Thank you. I was nervous.
You did phenomenal. You didn't sound nervous.
You did awesome.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's like stepping out of our comfort zones, sharing what's working for us, whether it's right, wrong, indifferent, it doesn't matter. It's you know, it's just good stuff. And I blacked out my first call. I don't even remember it. I was like, what? And I wasn't even drinking wine. I'm just like so scared to do a call. I was like, no, literally. Nikki was like, that was great. I was like, I have no idea what I said. I was so nervous. I almost quit coaching that night. So yeah. But if any of you guys don't have any more questions, I always try to be mindful of everyone's time. I'll give it one more opportunity. All right, Colleen, thank you so much. This was awesome. And I appreciate your time. Keep rocking it. And thank you guys for getting on tonight. And I will be posting the recording so you guys can share it with your teams in Genius Fit.
Thank you. Good job, Colleen.
Bye, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.